Today the cartel boss is shot, and you are already awake before the phone finishes vibrating on your nightstand, because you never truly sleep, you only wait, and now you are moving through the dark hallway of your apartment, pulling on yesterday's clothes, washing your hands as if the ritual can cleanse what you are about to step into, and you are telling yourself that you are a surgeon first, that you are sworn to preserve life, even when that life belongs to a man whose name makes entire neighborhoods fall silent. You are driving through empty streets while the city still pretends to rest, and you are replaying anatomy in your mind like a prayer, arteries branching in red diagrams behind your eyes, possible entry wounds, possible trajectories, possible exits, and you are steadying your breathing because you know that panic is a luxury you do not possess. And when you arrive at the unmarked warehouse guarded by men with rifles and suspicion in their eyes, you are stepping out of your car slowly, hands visible, because here your scalpel does not protect you, your reputation does. You are walking past steel doors and concrete walls that smell of oil and fear, and they are leading you to a makeshift operating room assembled in haste, stainless steel tables under harsh white lights, medical equipment bought in cash and silence, and there he is, the boss, bleeding through layers of expensive fabric, his pulse weak but stubborn, and you are not seeing a tyrant now, you are seeing a patient in hemorrhagic shock. And your training is rising above everything else. You are cutting away his clothes, you are assessing airway, breathing, circulation, your voice calm as you give instructions to men who do not understand medicine but understand urgency, and you are asking for suction, for clamps, for blood, and they are scrambling because your competence is the only thing standing between their loyalty and chaos, and you are opening his abdomen with precise movements. Because the bullet has entered high and left, and you are knowing the spleen is likely shattered, the liver possibly torn. You are feeling the warm flood of blood against your gloves, and you are clamping, suturing, packing gauze deep into cavities that no one else here dares to look at, and you are thinking about your years in a legitimate hospital, the sterile corridors, the ethics committees, the quiet dignity of scheduled surgeries, and you are realizing how far you are from that world, yet how similar this moment feels, because bleeding is bleeding, and tissue responds the same whether the man is a saint or a criminal. You are removing the spleen in controlled haste, you are checking for additional damage, you are tracing the bullet's path like a cartographer mapping destruction, and you are aware of the men behind you, watching every movement, because if he dies, you are not simply failing a patient, you are becoming a liability, and liabilities disappear in places like this. You are stitching layers closed while sweat gathers at your spine, and you are giving instructions for antibiotics, for fluids, for monitoring, and when you finally step back, you are feeling the strange mixture of triumph and dread, because you have saved him for now, and saving him means you are bound to him a little tighter. You are living in constant contradiction. By day, you are working at a private clinic under fluorescent lights, treating children with appendicitis, elderly men with hernias, women with gallstones, and you are speaking gently, explaining risks and benefits, signing charts with a steady hand. By night, or at unpredictable hours like this morning, you are answering encrypted calls and driving to locations that shift like shadows, carrying your instruments in a bag that contains both healing and complicity. You are telling yourself that you are forced into this role, that the first time was not your choice, that they approached you after you performed a complex trauma surgery that made headlines, that they offered money you could not refuse and threats you could not ignore, and you are remembering the moment you understand that neutrality is an illusion, because once you save a powerful man, he decides you belong to him. You are navigating a life where every success deepens your captivity. Each time you keep him alive after a gunshot wound, after a knife attack, after a reckless accident fueled by arrogance, you are proving your value, and value in his world does not grant freedom, it ensures dependence. You are becoming indispensable, and that word is both shield and shackle. You are living with constant surveillance. There are cars that linger near your building, men who nod too politely at the cafe you frequent, and you are aware that protection and monitoring are indistinguishable here. You are not free to speak of your work, not free to refuse a call, not free to disappear without consequences. Your family believes you are overworked, dedicated, exhausted from hospital shifts, and you are maintaining that illusion because truth would endanger them. You are facing ethical fractures daily. You are asking yourself whether saving one violent man indirectly condemns others, whether each surgery you perform allows him to continue orchestrating harm, and yet you are also knowing that a surgeon's instinct is to intervene, to stop bleeding, to restore function, and you are trapped between oath and outcome, between immediate life and long-term consequence. You are feeling fear not only during surgeries but in quiet moments, when you are alone in your apartment and the silence is too loud. You are imagining what happens if you make a mistake, if your hand slips, if infection sets in despite your precautions. In a hospital, complications are discussed, reviewed, forgiven as part of human limitation. In the cartel's world, complications are betrayal. You are developing rituals to cope. You are running at dawn, pushing your body until your lungs burn, because physical pain feels honest compared to moral tension. You are keeping meticulous notes in coded language, because control over details is the only domain where you still feel autonomy. You are avoiding alcohol, avoiding confidence, avoiding intimacy, because attachment creates vulnerability, and vulnerability is dangerous currency. You are also witnessing the boss in moments no one else sees. You are seeing him unconscious, fragile, dependent on machines and your skill. You are hearing him whisper about rivals, about loyalty, about legacy when anesthesia fades and honesty slips through. You are realizing that power is a costume that falls away under surgical lights, and beneath it is a body as breakable as any other. You are aware that your name is never spoken publicly in connection with him, yet your existence is known in certain circles. There are rumors of a doctor who operates outside the system, who performs miracles in hidden rooms. You are walking a thin line between legend and liability, and you are understanding that if law enforcement ever uncovers your role, you are facing prison, disgrace, the collapse of the life you have built on the surface. You are constantly preparing for worst-case scenarios. You are keeping a packed bag hidden in your closet, cash stored in envelopes, alternate identification documents you pretend you will never need. You are rehearsing explanations in your mind, imagining interrogations, imagining escape routes, and yet you are continuing to answer the phone when it rings. Tonight, as the boss stabilizes in a guarded room, you are sitting beside his bed, monitoring vitals, adjusting drips, and you are realizing that you are not just a surgeon anymore, you are a guardian of his mortality. His enemies aim for his heart, his liver, his lungs, but you are the barrier that stands between bullet and obituary, and that makes you both valuable and exposed. You are questioning how long this can last. Each surgery increases risk. Each survival invites another attempt on his life. Violence escalates, and you are the constant variable, the one who patches damage and sends him back into the storm. You are wondering whether one day you will choose not to answer, whether you will reclaim your oath in its purest form, or whether fear and For now, you are washing your hands again, longer than necessary, watching diluted blood spiral down the drain, and you are telling yourself that you operate in the present tense because that is the only tense that keeps you steady. You are saving a life today. You are controlling bleeding now. You are surviving this moment. And in this narrow corridor of time between crisis and consequence, you are simply the surgeon who keeps the cartel boss alive, balancing skill against danger, duty against dread, and you are continuing, breath by measured breath, because stopping is not yet an option.